This is the last week in PlayStation number 8. Welcome back to the channel if you tuned in last week, and if this is your first time watching, thank you for clicking on my video. I can't believe we're at almost 10 of these. I just checked my calendar and we'll be on the last week in PlayStation number 23 by the time the PS5 comes out, which honestly will probably come quicker than expected. We're about 3.5 months away from the PlayStation 5's launch, and let me know down in the comments if you're as excited as I am. This is the weekly news show where I round up all of the best PlayStation news that happened in the past week and put it all into one easy to watch video so you don't have to go looking for it. This video is for the week beginning the 3rd of August. It's actually been a pretty light week for PlayStation news, which is a little disappointing, but nonetheless I'm excited to tell you what did happen. Before we begin, please give the video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. It only takes a second and it would really help me out. This week we learned a little bit more about those ready for PlayStation 5 televisions that I talked about last week. People are outraged over something that, come on, should have been expected, and we had a state of play this week. Now with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's PlayStation news. Eurogamer is where our first bit of news comes from, and we'll start with it because it's a rundown of what was shown to us at the state of play that happened on Thursday. I'm probably going to do a video on the state of play myself, so I won't go into super big detail, and I'll be showing the trailers in that video because I'll actually be talking about the games in detail there. But this is what the article says. The show kicked off with a decent look at Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time, Toys for Bob's lovely looking platformer. The headline announcement is Dingodile is a playable character, a first for the series. The new inverted mode looks cool too. Then came the news the entire Hitman trilogy will gain PlayStation VR support, including the upcoming Hitman 3. Vadar Immortal, a Star Wars VR series, hits PlayStation VR on the 25th of August. Hood, Outlaws and Legends is a new PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One and PC. Multiplayer PvPvE heist game due out in 2021. Temtem, which I personally think looks really cool. The Pokemon style game that was a monster hit on Steam is coming to PS5 in 2021. And finally we get a good long hard look at Godfall, a fantasy action game due out on PC and PS5 later this year. Okay, that's what I thought was the most interesting in the state of play, except I left the most important part out of it. We got new Bugsnax gameplay, a better look at the characters and the world. We even got a holiday 2020 release date. If Bugsnax is a PlayStation 5 launch title, I'm going to lose it because that would be insane. Hashtag Bugsnax Game of the Year, make it happen. I'm kind of joking about Bugsnax. A lot of people were mad after seeing this state of play, and the actual chat in the live stream was so toxic, but people were mad because they didn't get what they wanted. Sony set the bar pretty low when they made the announcement of this state of play. They made it clear it wasn't a PS5 event, but I suppose it's impossible to keep everyone happy. I think the event was alright. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about this state of play. Next up, we've got an article from Polygon.com. The headline is Sony's ready for PlayStation 5 TVs are not in fact ready for PlayStation 5. And I mean, there's a mild case of clickbait going on here, but I mean, it is kind of a fair enough statement. This is what Polygon had to say. The next generation is just a few months away, with Sony and Microsoft both planning to launch their respective new consoles, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, this holiday season. Both companies have equipped their consoles with next-gen video features such as support for gaming in 4K resolution at 120 frames per second. That requires HDMI 2.1, a technology that is just starting to make its way into modern televisions. As with any new console generation, there's a lot of potentially unfamiliar tech jargon associated with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, such as variable refresh rate and auto low latency mode. It's creating a confusing landscape for anyone looking to future-proof their living room by buying a new TV for the next generation consoles. Last week, Sony came out with a new label for TVs that describes two of its 2020 models as ready for PlayStation 5. The branding, which resulted from a partnership between the company's electronics and gaming divisions. It's meant to make it easier for consumers to select the optimum TV in preparation for the highly anticipated launch of the PlayStation 5. Sony said in a news release. It sounds promising. Anything that could alleviate the pain of researching TVs and clear up the alphabet soup of initialisms for their features will be helpful. Sadly, that's not what's happening here. Ready for PlayStation 5 is a mere marketing tagline, nothing more than an attempt by Sony to hawk its own TVs. In fairness, a tagline is exactly how Sony describes Ready for PlayStation 5. The company is not trying to pretend the line is something that it's not. Essentially what's happening with these televisions is that all the features like 120 FPS are going to be coming in a firmware update for the television, meaning they aren't ready for PlayStation 5 at this very moment, and we have no word on when the firmware update will actually come out. This next one bothered me, but it didn't bother me for the same reasons as other people. Basically, Sony released news about what accessories will work with PlayStation 5 when it launches later this year, and one of those accessories is the DualShock 4. Now, I have been saying this for a while. It would make sense for DualShock 4 to work with PS4 games on PS5. It would be nice if it would work for PlayStation 5 games, but I couldn't see that happening because of the DualSense's new features and PS5 games requiring those features. That's what I've been saying, and that's exactly how it is going to work. So if you try to play a PlayStation 5 game with your DualShock 4, it won't let you, and I don't understand why people are so outraged over this. We are getting an innovative new piece of tech, and yeah, launch games are gimmicky with their controller features, but gimmicks can be pretty fun to play around with. Like the infamous Second Son spray can sections, for example. I don't know. It just baffled me how annoyed people were getting, but it's often the smallest group that is the most outspoken, which blows things out of proportion a little bit. As far as I can remember, people weren't that annoyed you couldn't use the DualShock 3 on the PlayStation 4 because they could accept the DualShock 4 had new features that the game used. Next up, we have a story from VideoGamesChronicle.com. This is the headline: PS5 has secured huge third-party games as timed exclusives, journalist claims. This one caught my attention very fast, and this is what they had to say. Kinda Funny's Imran Khan claimed in a video on Thursday that the public will be shocked to discover the caliber of titles Sony has secured for its next generation console. There are things you will be shocked to find out that Sony is money hatting, like they are locking up for timed exclusivity, he said. Like, wow, this is a game that you're choosing not because it's bad, but because it's huge. So I am interested to see what this conversation is going to be in a couple of months, because there are games that are widely accepted as multi-platform that Sony is locking up for a little while. I feel like there has to be at least one more PlayStation 5 event before launch, and I'm still holding out that one will be in August. If they have some crazy announcements like this guy is letting on, I want to hear them, and I'm trying to figure out what games he could be on about. One that jumps out to me is Call of Duty Black Ops, that is coming out later this year. Sony has marketing rights to Call of Duty, so would it be that wild for them to have the next gen version of Call of Duty locked up for a month or two? That would definitely sell a lot of PlayStation 5s, but I'm not sure how into that idea Activision would be, unless Sony paid them the right price, of course. Our last bit of news is kind of nice. It's another one from Polygon.com, and it's actually to do with the Elder Scrolls Online and Doom Eternal getting next gen upgrades. This is what it says: Doom Eternal, which launched in March, and The Elder Scrolls Online will both be released on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. And publisher Bethesda Softworks says players who already own either on PS4 or Xbox One will be able to upgrade for free. Moreover, Bethesda committed to delivering free upgrades for any existing titles it brings forward to the new console generation. Bethesda has not yet announced any other PS4 or Xbox One titles for the new consoles. What I would personally be really stoked over would be if Fallout 4 got a next generation patch. I love that game so much, and I played it to death back in 2016. A next generation version for all the Bethesda games on current gen would be nice, but they're taking a step in the right direction even if it stops at Doom Eternal and The Elder Scrolls Online. Doom Eternal seems like it could really benefit from the PlayStation 5's 120 FPS capabilities. Real quick, I just want to remind everybody what your free PS Plus games for the month of August are. This month is a really strong lineup, and you can add these two games to your library right now. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered is the first game offered, and I've played the first 3 missions. It looks amazing. It's just that classic campaign with a great fresh coat of paint over it, and you should go and check it out. The second game on offer is Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. It looks really goofy, and it's a party game with up to 60 players online in a free-for-all struggle through round after round of escalating chaos until one victor remains. In a strange way, it kind of reminds me of the television show Total Wipeout or something like that, but it looks super fun. You have until Wednesday, September 2nd to add these 2 games to your library. That's it for the 8th, the last week in PlayStation, and I mean, news wasn't spectacular this week, so I'm hoping for something good to break over the course of the next week, so we have something fun to talk about next week. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about this week's state of play, and are you surprised your DualShock 4 won't be compatible with PlayStation 5 software? Because I know I'm not. As always, I had a load of fun putting together some news articles regarding the world of PlayStation into an easy to watch video for you to enjoy every single Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, please consider hitting the like button as it helps my video get recommended to other people, and consider subscribing, it would really help me out. If you want to stay up to date with the channel, you can find me over on Twitter at AnthonyJGaming. I'm very active over there, so why don't you say hi? On the PlayStation Network, I'm AnthonyJGaming as well. Finally, you can follow me over on Instagram where I'm AnthonyJosephGaming. Thank you again so much for watching the last week in PlayStation. Bye.